I like the Pixies. The Pixies. I used to listen to them when I was a kid, like 16, 15, 16, 17. Hi, Stanley. I'm gonna do a yammer, Stanley. Yammer. I'm gonna flap my lips, bump my gums. How you doing today, Mom? You're alive? It's getting weird out there. A lot of people are checking out. They're leaving. They're done with this stupid planet Earth. They don't want to do it no more. I just think of it as an alien ant farm. Yeah. And we teleport here through our mother's arenas. The arena. Alright. I teleported to planet Earth from a place I'm not, Mom. Called Riverside, California. That's where I incarnated to this crazy world. And it's funny, I was thinking earlier today, I was listening to an old band called Alien Ant Farm. Well, I think they're onto stuff. And so I went and looked them up, because I haven't thought about them in a while, so I wanted a refresher. So I looked it up, and they formed in 1996. That was the year Grandpa died. The year my grandfather died. In Riverside, California. Which is where I was born. And it's right by LA. So I used to always say that technically I'm an LA-alien. I'm an LA-alien. Because I never fit on this planet Earth. And I never thought like everybody else anyway. Because I figure like everybody is one of these. Everybody is this. Every living being is this color wheel. It's this chart. And for every color there's a frequency attached to it. Because there's a motion. Right? And if you ever took any art classes, like I did, what you would find out is black is all the colors. And white is absence of colors. So I look at that as like narcissism. Yeah, because you don't got no emotion. You got no pigment in your skin. You got no soul. You got no heart. You're just a weirdo. Likes to do butt stuff. That's what I call those colonists. Those colonial, those Pittsburgh people. Those don't you know who we are? The tiny hamburger grade. The generations of the little fools that go into the military for 2 years and they give them a gun and they become a security police, and then they get out and they go back to their local cop shop and then do 25 years of fucking being an asshole to their local community because they're given, a free go-ahead. I had to deal with police all the time when I was in the military. They were always breaking our shit. They're always breaking our stuff. We'd have to, go down, meet with their first shirt, you can't, these things are $15,000. You can't squish them down so you can put airplane heaters in the window of your car so you can be all nice and warm and sleep all night because you're supposed to be awake on duty. See, that's what police are. There's so many of them that just have done nothing, and that's why, or they've served their own ego and their own agenda, so that's why the world is shit now, especially in the state in which I live, man. It's a free-for-all in New Mexico. 29% of the population can't read. There's only 2 million people in the whole freaking state. Hello. So I had a weird day. I don't leave the house unless I have a reason to, and we needed water, and so I had to go to the water house, and I saw these people. They were pulling into the gas station, and they ran out of gas right there. Right there. And I was like, that's rad. I got an idea to make a nap so everybody can get paid by the government. You know? Using GIS, like they can do pick up trash. I got all kinds of solutions to make it easy for everybody, not just the Viagra chompers. So I pulled my car around. I got a big truck and I pulled it around and I said, listen, I said, I can help you. I said, if you want, I can kind of help you push your car up the hill because I got a back. I can't push cars no more. And so I said, it's up to you. And the guy's like, well, I've got to go over to Ricky's. Like, I'm starting a job. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of where I was headed. And then I said, it's up to you. I can help you get up to the, and they're like, okay. And so he like grabs a pillow and I pushed him up, but I busted out the back window or the back light. And, man, I felt so bad about it. But it's a risk you take. Like, nobody was going to help these people. Like, people don't help people in New Mexico. They don't get out of their car and stop traffic and fucking... This is something I've been doing since I was a kid because I've been with Mom when I was a little girl and we've been in cars that broke down and nobody would help us. And because I know how that feels, I try and help everybody. So I have, like, stuff in my car that I could jump start their car for them. I could, I was a mechanic in the military. There's all kinds of ways I could help people. I got air compressor. I could fill tires. Like, dun 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 dun, what can I do to help you today? And then I was like, here, I'm sorry, and I didn't have any cash to give them. So what I did, I went inside. I paid $20 on my card. I don't care about. I do my own logo. Straight people like rainbows too. I'm my own graphic designer. Like, I do my own shit. I'm a jack of all tirades. I pay people because I'm trying to help them out, better their lives. I don't pay them because I think that they're going to do a better service for me than I can do. And plus my back hurts and I'm tired, so. But I could do an engine swap if it came down to it. I just would rather pay somebody to do it. I'm from no place. I said earlier, I'm an alien. I'm from no place. We got no roots. We've been moving around looking for a home our whole lives. But, the born and raised just designate that there's no space. Or I got to pay through the nose for membership required for inclusion. And I don't got no earth in my chart. Money's stupid to me. I don't need it. But I don't even care. I don't go to work and I still get $70,000 a year. Like, can everybody else manifest this shit? With their good peopleness? With their goodness and their kindness and their generosity? No. That's what happens when I said, you know what, Mom? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure that you never have to go in a home. So that's what God gives to me to take care of my mom. Not the state, because SSI disability only thinks she deserves $800 a month. Mom would have been dead fucking years ago if she wouldn't have been in my care. And then we end up back where she was born. It's like a smack in the face. It's like we're back here so I can teach these fools that you don't throw your fucking kids away. That maybe make a society that the mother is supported when the father fucking leaves. Because that's what happened to us, and it happens. It's our story is just a story. Man off doing man things in the name of manning, and they're fucking, just looking for penis pockets as far as they're concerned. They don't care what gender it is. That's what men do. They're virile. They gotta spread their seed like their little golden streams. In the locker room. When they're 15, they never grow past that mentality. And now Now, the rest of us just have to deal with what the world's like with run by a bunch of fucking pervy creeps chasing sensations. And how's that working for the world? Huh? Is that humane to just try and just be as pervy and gross as people possibly can? So anyway, about the story about the broken light. So I put $20 of gas in their tank, and I went on my way. I needed to get water. That's why I was out today. And so I went and got water. Then I used the ATM at the bank, got $100, and I said I got to make this light thing right. And so I went across the way over to Ricky's, and I see the kid walking out of the side of the building with his girlfriend. And I was like, he's not working today. I don't care. So I pulled into a parking lot, whipped it around, pulled around, and said, hey, what's up? He said, oh, he said that he didn't need me. So, like, I don't know, whatever. And I said, well, here's $100. I said, you could spend it on whatever you want. I said, I got enough bad blood on my back. I got enough bad blood pointed at me. I said, I don't need to add any more to it. So this should cover to replace the light. And they're like, no, you're totally good. You're fine. You know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, man, we're supposed to live in the richest fucking country in the whole planet. And there's people living in their cars and it's been like this since 96, 95, 96. That's back when I was a credit card vendor. And I would go to college campuses, and I was one of those people that I would do anything to pay my rent and make my brother happy. And because I lived with him, so I had to pay so much rent. And so my sister-in-law was a credit card vendor, so she got me this gig where all I had to do was get him to fill out an application, and for every application I got like 75 cents or $1 or whatever it was. And then kids would sign up for credit cards, and then they'd start their freaking lives out getting in trouble because their parents never taught them how to responsibly use credit cards. Because, you know, if you're a kid in college in 1996, signing up for a credit, and you're living in your car, chances are your parents never taught you how. And so ever since then, I've been thinking about, like, solutions that would make things easier for people that live in their cars that don't have houses. Because me and Mom, man, we've almost been homeless so many times. It's been seconds and inches, and I'm just like out here just moving and just like trying to not just keep that from happening. Because we like air conditioning. I like electricity. I like running water. And I've lived in too many places where we didn't even have that. And so, you know, and I watch these other people on the internet. You know what? One of the reasons why I do YouTube videos, because I spend a lot of time trying to get opening myself up to other people's perspectives. So I listen to a lot of people on YouTube. And there's this guy, I fucking can't believe so many people listen to this guy. And they listen to him for years. There's so many guys like that. Like, they have this big calling, and I'm like, they talk to their guides and their woo-woos and their this and their that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I got intuition. I got psychic abilities. I get knowings from external vibrational frequencies. Okay. But I can also do an engine swap. And I also help people fucking, you know, with their everyday strife and their everyday bullshit. And I also fucking, like, help people move. And I also do, like, all these things my whole life I've been looking for people to help me do and lighten the load. I can't find them, so I just end up paying people to do it, you know. And then you don't have to worry about if somebody's your friend, because it's just business. And in Taos, man, customer service is an afterthought. This place is such a fucking weird place. I went to Whataburger yesterday. Haven't been there since it's open. freaking, there's like one couple in front of me, and then I ordered, and then it got busy. Yo, what's up? Kansas, that's where my sweet boy Artie pants came from. Kansas City. I used to take, from Omaha, we used to go to Kansas City to the plaza, stay in hotels and go shopping. How 3D bullshit can you do? Is that? And then I don't know. I try life on, other people's lives on, and then I go on about my way. Because people keep doing the same stuff over and over, year in, year out. The idea of doing that makes me crazy. But, so, I gotta switch gears. I gotta make mention of a young woman that got killed in the trades. I don't know her name. I don't know her name, but every time some young woman gets wiped out, and her life gets taken out early because some man has emasculated himself, it's here we go again. And I was a woman in the trades, but before that, I was a young girl, 16 years old, and that's when I learned that I couldn't trust anybody. I got trust issues, and that was the time I was 16. And that was the last time I went and hung out with my dad, who was a truck driver. He's just a bad guy. He doesn't feel good. I'd rather not hang out with him than hang out with him. And I couldn't oblige myself anymore and hide under the charade of, oh, he's my dad. I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even muster love for the man. He just was a bad guy. And so he was giving me a ride up to Sacramento, where my brother lived, and then my mom was coming down from Redding to pick me up from my brother's place, and evidently they had this all worked out. I'm the 16-year-old girl. I don't know what's happening. I don't have my own car. I'm at the mercy of others, right? So I had this flash last night, because when I showed up, I was like, where's Mom? And he's like, get in the house, and I could tell he was pissed. I could tell he was bad. And then he sent my dad away. And my dad left. And as soon as he closed that door, he switched like a light. My brother, now I'm only 5'4". I'm not a big woman. I'm stocky, I'm strong, but I'm not big. And I was probably a good 160 pounds at the time. And, but he was 5'11", not quite 6 foot. He always wished he was 6 foot. And so he freaking did one of his wrestling moves on me, and freaking I went crack back on my back. And he freaking pinned my arms to my side. And I looked into his eyes, and I was like, he's gonna kill me. This guy I grew up next to, we went through hell together. Like soldiers in a foxhole. And I looked into his eyes and I was like, there's nothing there. There's blanks. His soul, he's disassociated. This guy's gonna kill me. And he freaking picked me up and he slammed my head down. And I could feel the concrete under the carpet. There is no carpet pad. And so I laid there for a second to see if my head was going to start to bleed. And then this all just happened in a split second. And I was like, oh no. And my fight kicked in, and I fucking grabbed him as hard as I could. Right in his fucking junk. Because it's all junk as far as I'm concerned. All little mama's boys. Your little mama's boys, your mama tell you got the golden wiener and you can't do nothing wrong ever. So you go and try and give it to all the ladies and then they don't want it. Because only your mama thinks that you got the golden wiener. And then they deny it, and then you get mad, and then women are getting, killed left and right. So it's every man for himself in America, because all the emasculated males So I grabbed him as hard as I could, and he freaking jumped off and everything, and I was, and then I went into the other room, like I just had to get away from, I still had, that fucker still made me drive home. I saw stars for like 3 days, and he made me drive home, clear my head, and drive home to Reading. He's just, I know who evil are because I'm related to him. And they wear the same shoes. And they all travel to the same places because that's what important people do. I've never given a shit about going to Hawaii. What's the thing about Hawaii? It's a frequency of self-importance. Paradise. Like, what do people do deserve to get to paradise when they don't get through hell? They just hijack paradise. They don't deserve paradise. The world is a contrived reality, and I'm sick of it. I'm not sad that it's not snowing on the mountain peaks. I'm not sad that Vail's not getting snow. I think it's so funny. People are like, oh, we need the moisture. We need the moisture. That's why we need snow. Do people even understand how little moisture you get from snow? For every 12 inches of snow, it's about an inch of water. So snow is just for skiers and snowboarders and the weirs, the hamster, the mice in the cage that just go in the little hamster wheel that just do the same thing. Whee! Chasing sensations. We need to take time off from doing nothing. That's America. You see the quality of new craftsmanships in houses? You see the shit quality of what these housing inspectors are looking at? I would not buy a new house. I don't know why people are still buying houses. We're in the apocalypse. In the collapse, Ma. They think that aliens, I think it's so funny that other people don't recognize that we're living in an alien ant farm. We're not origins from countries and nationalities. We're origins from celestial placements in the sky, latitudes and longitudes, coordinates, frequency, what we're tuned into. That's how I see it. I've been to a lot of latitudes and longitudes. I mostly pay attention to latitudes, though. Because like attracts like a radio station, like how many like-minded people have like the same favorite songs? I don't have the same favorite songs as a lot of people, though. I don't think that many people even in today's society have even heard of Concrete Blonde. And that's probably one of my top 3 favorite bands of all time. So, the earth is a-changing because perception is reality. And more people are doing things to tune into different frequencies. Because we're just, just a learning, all earth is learning. It's an earth school, right? We're just learning lessons, right? I'm trying to learn how to be a better, more tolerant, compassionate being. Because I've been to war, and I see what happens when the creeps like to go to war. It's really gross. What dudes get turned on when they fucking do weird shit. They're just weird, man. They're weird animals. I'd never seen nothing like it, and I hope people stop letting people they care about enlist, and they stop letting people they love enlist, because it's bullshit, and they don't need that shit to happen to them. Yep. So, I like to do talks about how I wish that people would have talked about when I was like younger and impressionable. Because I've always been looking for teachers and guides. And then they always end up doing stuff that I'm not in alignment with. So I'm not going to follow them no more. You'd be surprised in the last 7 years since I've been doing YouTube videos, all the people I've tried to connect with, but they just can't see me. I'm invisible. I'm indivisible. I'm invisitable. I try and come at them direct. Hey, my name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. Here's my credentials. But when people are just about what they want to do, you know, even if they're talking in terms of for the collective, it's just snake oil salesman bullshit. That's what I found. I keep looking for the full spectrum beings, for the woo-woo people and the people that can like build a house and do plumbing and do all this stuff too. Not just talk about, you know, like, God, man. I was listening to this chick. You ever think in terms of those like 7 degrees, 6 degrees of separation? I had a reading done from a student of Deborah Silverman's. And she did a talk today. And I'm just like, you know, she has so many wonderful things to offer. Oh, wait, she lives in Hawaii. It's like, that's the only, like, where are the tangibles if we're going to rebuild a better earth? Unless people are going to start doing it with their brain juice. Like, you know, all these astrologers and practitioners and healers and stuff, they're all in houses with their sets and stuff like that. They didn't build the shit themselves. They didn't do the stuff. They just used money and moved here and there and there. And it's just like, you know, like all you know is astrology. I find that empty. I find that lacking broad of spectrum. I think people should be more than one thing. That's why sports are stupid. You know, I had to be a caregiver to my mom. I had to throw away daughter years ago. I never got to be just a daughter. Because people had better ideas. Like a man thought it'd be a good idea to fucking slam my mom's head in the car door. So I lost my mom that day. And I've been seeing an evolution of my mom evolve from one state of peculiar behavior to another. I'm just trying to make her as comfortable as I can. But where are all the bleeding hearts in fucking society? They're like, oh my God, you haven't had a day off in 5 years? You've done the same thing for 5 years, taking care. People can't even comprehend that. Because they have no idea, because they've always been taken care of. And they don't fucking know what it's like to take care of another human being. Because in America, you're taught to do whatever you want. Do whatever makes you feel good. They should have all made better choices, right? Now there's so many people hurting out there because they can't fucking feed their kids. They're homeless. They're sleeping in their tits. And I'm like, you know what, Ma? Least I can do is make sure that you're comfortable, because we only had a few months of homelessness. The rest of the time you did a pretty okay with your shortcomings of keeping a roof over our head. Even though she made me pay rent when I was 15. The whole fucking thing. And we were on welfare. So she could go off and play with the dude that slammed in her head. I think she learned her lesson. Huh, Mom? Don't hang out with drunken abusers, huh, Mom? That's what you stopped then, didn't you? You didn't hang out with nobody after that. She's like, bro. Like, the life I've lived is what people see on fucking TV and the movies. I'm a real fucking person. But real people, they're too busy being fake, so that's how I stay invisible. You know? I feel bad for all the girls that fucking didn't learn how to defend themselves. That didn't have an ogre abusive brother that, taught, because I was basically a test dummy to him, like with his wrestling and stuff, and now he's an important lawyer. And that's why he don't want anything to do with me and Mom, because I tell people how he was. And then how he threw us away, and so he's still a monster. And he don't want people to know he's a monster. And I'm like, California bar code number 249276. Because he said I wasn't a good sister. But I was the day that he got his bar, he passed the bar, I put in the number and I was hitting it. So I could be the first one to call him and congratulate him. And then for a living amends, I drove him to Dixon, Illinois because he liked Reagan, and that's where Reagan was born. He was like an Alex P. Keaton. And I told him, I said, you know, I wasn't a good sister. I'm going to be a good sister now, and I know how to be a good sister because AA is teaching me how. And he was like, Marge, there was that time on the bus, those kids molested you with a pencil, and I just watched, and I never stuck up for you. I always felt really bad about that. And I was like, it happened? That really happened? Huh. So you've been fucking watching me get hurt and be in harm's way my whole life. And you're trying to tell people that you're the protective, loving, doting brother. See, people don't know who a liar is. I freaking used to date this chick who married one of them dirty Philly cops. I'll never forget the night they met. And he was an AA circuit speaker. That dude would go around and find the girls, the fast girls, through because they pay him to fly here to talk about his experience, talk about what a great guy he was. He's not a good man. He wasn't a good man. And a whole girl walked out of the bathroom with this dude 20 years older than her with this eggplant in his hand. And I'm like, I wonder how many young women in the 2000s unsuspectedly walked out of their hotel room to see Bobby Coyle, you dirty scumbag, you Epstein-looking douche, with his eggplant in his hand. And it's not just him. It was so many important men that have $1,000, $5,000 suits, because that's what important men do. They get happy endings from the massage therapist or from this massage parlor. They're just dirty, gross pigs. Last I heard, he was a police, what do you call it? What are those things? The union. Ain't that the cover-up-iest bullshit if I ever heard it? It's like tenure, giving people that are creeps free passes, and they can do whatever they want and never get no trouble. I used to work in higher ed at Creighton University. So many trash heaps, so many icky people in higher ed. They're probably not even people, they're probably the lizards. All the white people are probably the lizard, the Nephilim, they think they're really good looking. I don't know, I prefer more. See, that's why I do this. I got this whole thing. This is for the color wheel. Straight people like rainbows too. Because we're all just different shades of the color wheel. That's all. It don't matter what the color of your skin is. I don't care if you're a lizard alien, you done terrible stuff, you gotta make up for it. That's what I gotta say. You can't just stop doing shitty stuff. You gotta make up for all the shitty, crappy content that you put up in the world, right? So you got all these people going out causing harm, being ugly and nasty, leaving their garbage, their generational trash everywhere. I give away stickers and magnets too. It's like, it's part of my, and I do it for free. This is just shit I do for free. While everybody else, you have to pay for kindness. So dumb. That's why I don't have no heroes. There's people I'll drop in, I'll listen to their YouTube talks, and I'm just like, that's it? This is your whole thing? This is your purpose in life. Wow. Wow, you're just so much like all of these other people that are just like you. But that's cool. I guess that's how things are going to get better, right? That's about I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.